For the few of you that are on, I appreciate you guys being on. I understand people are traveling. I understand some of you guys are packing it in and you got your turkey bowl that you're stretching out for and you're watching all your Tom Brady highlights. But, okay, that's great. That's awesome. I hope you guys don't break any bones or pull any muscles. But I'm here to talk about freaking money, making money, getting that mailbox money, getting your passive income going. I'm trying not to move this table too much because it's a little bit shaky. And can you guys hear me, by the way? Aaron, am I good on volume? Fix it. Am I good on volume? Ron, Novice, what's going on, bro? Am I good on volume? Let me know if you guys can hear me. And then we're going to just start ripping. We're going to start going. I'd just like to know if you guys can actually hear me. Okay. Aaron, let me know. I know you're on, bro. Oh, Aaron's just smashing people. He's just cracking it. Boom. Ron says he can hear me. Aaron says loud and clear. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. We're starting to cruise. I'm going to do the everyone tag real quick, and then we're going to go. We're going to go. I'm doing it. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay. It's been done. Guys, welcome to the call. If this is your first call or you're watching the replay and you're like, this is my first time hearing this cat. No, I am not doing Adderall and cocaine. This is I'm pumped about what we're talking about every single time I get on these lives. I'm here to share something that you can take and you can put it into practice and you can go and you can make money. Okay. That's my entire goal every single week. So, and some of you guys, I really appreciate you. Aaron, for example, Ron, I saw you on YouTube, I believe. Thank you guys for being on this call. I know it's a busy week. I know it's a holiday week, but guess what? Money never freaking sleeps. And so that's what we're doing here. Okay. I want to share something really quick before we get into this and we bring on our guest. I've seen some interesting stuff happening the last couple of weeks. I just got off, actually, literally 5 minutes ago, I got off of a call with my accountant doing my Q4 meeting. Then we're just like, hey, here's how much money you've made. Here's how much money you're paying taxes on. Here's what your tax is going to look like. And here's what you need to do. Here's the moves that you need to make or else. Okay. That's the conversation I just had. It's exciting on one hand. She's like, holy crap. It's been a great year. And it sucks on the other hand, because you're like, there's no way I got to pay that much to the government. That does not even feel right. And if you guys don't even want to hear what I said when I found out the number, but we got time. We got 5-6 weeks left. We got deals to do. We got real estate to buy. But here's what's crazy, guys. I've seen some interesting things happening the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. And one of the things is I'm somebody where every single night, if I can't sleep, or maybe if I can, I'm just doing this anyways, I go and I have the, by the way, Gavin said he made it. Gavin, great to have you, bro. Everyone give Gavin a little clap, little golf clap for announcing his entrance into the call. Thanks for being here, bro. I look at Zillow on a regular basis, okay? And for the longest time, like for the last year, maybe 18 months, I'm flipping and I'm looking at the same, Greg, what's up, bro? I'm looking at the same houses. And every time I'm going, dude, these people are out of their minds. There is no way anyone's paying that much money for that house. Sure enough, 5 days later, boom, that's the house. They're selling it. Hold on, this chair's pissed me off. Can you guys hear it rattling? Hold on, we got to get a different chair. All I can do is hear this freaking squeakity squeak. Anyway, guys, all I've been seeing for a couple of years is the same houses at these ridiculous prices. And I'm like, dude, no one's going to pay for these. Like, this is crazy. And people have been paying for them because, I don't know, whatever, because money grows on trees, I guess. And here's what's been interesting is literally, I noticed this in the last 7 days. Okay. In the last 7 days, I went on like 3 days ago. Check this out. Listen to me very carefully. This is very important for those of you that make money or think money's important at all. But listen to this. I go on and I see this property listed in my town, and it's a $4 million property, right? $4 million house, gorgeous house, dope house. They went a little thin on the backyard. I'm like, dude, you got a $4 million house in your backyard. Looks like it's on Minecraft, bro. Come on. Okay. Dope house. I look at it and I'm like, dude, this house, I look at the neighborhood because I know the area. This house is not an old house. Okay. This is a really new house. So what that tells me is they didn't build this house 10 years ago for pennies and they're looking to make a buck. They built this thing in the last couple months. And so then you start thinking, okay, and you can tell because it's fully furnished. There's clothes in the closet. Again, dope house. And so I started asking myself this question. I'm like, why would you sell a house and for those of you that are doing any kind of real estate, if you move into a house and you sell it within 2 years, you get capital gains tax. Like there's all these things. So there's really like no reason that this house should be on Zillow. Like you're a fool if this house is on Zillow, because you're not going to make that much money because you built it. It was expensive to build it. You're not going to make that much money. And no one's buying right now. No one's buying houses. The interest rates are dog shit, 7.5%. Nobody wants to do that. The numbers don't pencil out. You're paying at that price, you're paying thousands of dollars more per month because the interest rate's so high. So the question is, and this is going to relate to what we're talking about today, why is this house for sale at $4 million during this time? And I put a post up today on my Facebook wall. If you guys aren't friends with me on Facebook or follow me, I would highly recommend it. Always entertaining, always irreverent, always going to be something that maybe you shouldn't have your mom read, but you're going to laugh. Just a little plug for my Facebook page, or for my personal Facebook. But all I can think of and all I can assume and all I can basically distill it down to is we are starting to see the effects. We are starting to see the people, okay, who have been flexing, and it was all smoke and mirrors, baby. We're starting to see the people who are in the $4 million houses, and they probably squeaked into it, and they probably know the builder, and they probably had some hookup at the bank, and they probably barely are making their payments. And guess what? Now we've had a couple of weird months, and people are starting to get a little worried, and interest rates are starting to climb, and maybe their business or whatever isn't so good. And now all of a sudden, because they were flexing, they were overextended, guess what? They got to sell the house. They got to sell the $4 million house. And I'm sure it's full of toys that they probably have on credit, not cash, or that they bought at a stupid price. Okay. And why am I saying this? Well, I'm saying this because I couldn't be more excited. Okay. I could not be more excited. I'm sure if you're like me, you guys have heard of the stories back in 2008, 9, 10, where the $2 million house, 5,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet, 7 bedrooms, went on sale for $600K because the person that bought it overextended themselves and they had no other choice, right? That's the kind of stuff I'm excited for. And so the reason I'm telling you guys this is, guys, we've been talking about this for years. I've been saying, man, when's the correction coming? When's the recession coming? I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready. And I have been using digital real estate. That's where I'm tying it in. I have been using digital real estate to stack cash to get ready for this moment. Okay. And for some of you, this is going to be a terrifying time. It's going to be a time you're going to experience more pain than you've ever experienced in your entire life because you're not ready. And and this is the sad truth. And hopefully this is a wake up call, because there is still time, because I don't know if we're all the way there yet. But for those of you that have literally been sitting here going, oh my gosh, I know that digital real estate thing, it sounds sexy. It sounds cool. I want to go in. I want to do my own thing. I want to spread my wings, but I'm comfortable, but I'm making $6,000, selling software. I'm making $8,000. You don't know how many people I've talked to in the last year that they act like their bank account is swolled up because they're making $10,000 selling software. And every time I sit there and I shake my head, I'm like, $10,000 selling software. Just wait till things shift a little bit. And I cannot freaking wait to see the blood and carnage. I cannot wait to see these people faces. I cannot wait to see these Facebook messages. Hey, bro, you still got spots. You still got that course. You're still able to teach me how to do digital real estate. And I'm going to have all the leverage. I'm going to have all the control. So what I'm saying is this, guys, we are in a very exciting time. And you, depending on the person you're talking to, somebody else might look at this and go, this is super scary, this, whatever. I'm ready for it. I've been waiting. I've been stacking cash. I've been planning my moves. I've been waiting. I've been talking to people. I've been making connections. I am ready to, and by the way, if any of you guys have deals or any of you guys, whatever, I would love for you to send them my way and I'll cut you in on it, or I'll give you a whatever. But guys, things are getting crazy. Things are getting wild out there. And I'm saying this, and I want to do this because this is recorded. And I want to be able to say that on November 23rd or whatever today is, the day before Thanksgiving in 2022, I said it. This is what's about to happen. But here's what's about to happen is some of you guys that are on here, and I appreciate you guys being on, you've been sitting in your little comfortable job and you haven't wanted to take a risk because you know what? Your job was safe and your career was safe and the 401k was safe and the retirement package was safe. And starting a business and doing digital real estate, that was scary. And I don't know. And then there's all these unknowns and blah, blah, blah. And guess what? That little safe job that you've been sitting on for I don't know how many years, you're about to get smashed in the teeth. And some of you guys that think you have it set, oh, my boss would never do it to me. Yeah, wait till he can't pay his own bills. What do you think he's going to do? Okay. And I said this, I've been saying it for months. I said this on Monday on the live YouTube. By the way, every Monday, 10 a.m. MST, we have a YouTube show, Making Hay with Digital Real Estate. And this last Monday, so if you guys ever want to join, it's live. It's completely different message. I don't just use the same message and do it every single day. It's a completely different message. I said the exact same thing. I said, some of you are about to lose your jobs. Guys, literally within 90 minutes, I got a message from somebody, said, hey, I was on your YouTube. There's somebody I know personally. Hey, I was on your live in YouTube or on YouTube. And literally they said, and guess what? I just lost my job. Like literally 90 minutes. And I don't know if they had lost it the day before or they lost it like that morning, but they said, I just lost my job. How do I get started? Okay. And I'm saying all of this because if we were looking at some other business that you wanted to start, or we were looking at getting into physical real estate, those things take capital. Those things take time. Those things, there's like a buildup period. And I wanted to share this because, guys, there are people that I have seen personally, that I know personally, that have actually made money with digital real estate in 7 days. There are people that have actually made money within 2 weeks, that have actually made money within 3 weeks, that actually made money within 4 weeks. Okay. And we're going to bring on a guest today that is going to be another example for you guys. People from all different backgrounds, people from speaking all different languages, that live in all kinds of different countries, that are single moms, single dads, full-time employees, career people, school teachers, people on a sabbatical that are like, let's just do this. Now they're making 10K. The cool part about this is I'm not up here telling you, hey, you should start this business and you might see money in 9 months. No, you could start this today. And if you actually got shit done, if you actually prioritized, if you actually did the things that you need to do, you could be making money this month. Okay. This month, this year, 2022. And there is still time, but I'm just telling you right now, if you're one of those people that your job and you're like, oh man, it's safe. No, I'm really valued at the company. You'd be surprised. Okay. You'd be surprised. You're really valued at the company until the person that owns the company, their paycheck starts getting affected. Okay. And I'm not being a doomsday guy. I couldn't be more excited. Here's what's interesting about it. If you look at my Facebook post that I made about this, I put, isn't it interesting? I'm starting to see $4 million homes, blah, 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 right? I put this. And if you look at it, there's some of these comments that are like basically going against me, but it's like in a passive way. Go look at those people. Go look at the people that are making the comments. It's always the real estate guys. It's always the people whose paycheck comes because the real estate's doing good, that have been flexing for the last 4 years. And they're like, oh shit. And they're going to keep telling themselves, like I have mortgage friends right now. They're like, oh, the rates are coming down. No, they're not coming down. Okay. They're not. I'm talking like, just think about it, right? Like something had to be done. This is what we're just paying the price. I'm no macro economist here. I didn't finish my degree. I dropped out of college, but like, I also can see like there has to be something, and we've been talking about it, but here we are, and we're finally there. Okay. So my point is this. For the last couple months, I've been talking about, I'm going to use this vehicle right here, digital real estate, to make as much cash as possible, to take that cash and deploy it and play Monopoly with what's about to happen. Well, it's happening. Okay. But for those of you that are like, oh my gosh, I'm going to grab my ass and make sure I don't lose my house, there's still time, but you better do it quick. Okay. And that's not a plug like, oh, you got to do it through me. I don't give a shit if it's through me. I don't care if you go YouTube University, you just need to start. Okay. And why do I say that? Because if you just start, once you start and you start doing this, you start looking at this, you're going to see how many questions you have. You're going to see how much needs to be taught. You're going to see, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. And you'll eventually come to me. But all I care about is that you guys start. Okay. All I care about is that you guys start. That's it. And I've got too many examples. I've got too many people that I know personally, friends and family that are making too much money that shouldn't be. And I say shouldn't be because all the things that, should be, all the boxes that should be checked for people to be successful, they're not checking, but they're still making money. Okay. So the cool part about this is I can sit here and I can say, hey, I actually believe wholeheartedly when I go to sleep at night, I sleep in peace. When I'm telling you, I can think of no better way to get out of a shit situation that you might be in right now with the way things are going. Or maybe you're in a good spot. Maybe you have a business and you're like, hey, well, I'm probably pretty secure, but I need some capital. I need some money so that when a property comes on sale, I can go and jump on it, right? Nothing's going to be worse than property comes available. It's like it's a money deal. It's 20% cash on cash return. And you're like, yeah, I don't have any cash. It was a great deal. Nobody wants to be the guy or the girl in 5 years. It's like, I had a chance to buy that building back in 2022 and it was this price and man, I should have done it, but I didn't have any cash, right? Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be the one that has regret. Don't be the one that's like, oh yeah, back in the day, I had a chance. Guys, no one cares. Nobody freaking cares. Just because you had a chance to do it, you didn't do it. And whether it was because you didn't have cash or because you were too much of a scaredy cat to do it, either way, you don't have the property. So this is me sharing the thoughts that are going through my head, and I'm articulating them the best I can to you. This is what I'm doing, and I've done okay for myself. Okay. I've done okay. I've taken my shots. I've taken my bumps. I've taken my bruises. I've lost money. Like everybody else, I lost $50,000 in the stock market. I had a failed business that never even, I got, whatever. I've had all those things, but I've also made millions and millions and millions of dollars with this business model. Okay. This business is my 3rd year running, making 7 figures with this business model. Okay. So I'm not the financial broker that's like, yeah, you should buy whole life insurance. Whoop. And you're like, yo, how much do you own? Oh, well, like I was on the phone the other day with a guy and he was trying to sell me like his stock stuff. And I said, how much money do you have in it? And I wasn't being an arrogant asshole. I just said, how much money personally are you invested in these stocks that you're trying to pitch me on? And guess what? He didn't answer my question. He said, well, this is all that I do. And I have 20 years experience, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, how much? How much, bro? 5K? 10K? Because the way you're talking, you better have like at least $500,000 into this. Okay. If you're pushing it to me, you're peddling it to me. Anyway, my point is, guys, there's some exciting things happening right now. And I don't know where I heard this, but with crisis comes opportunity. I know some of you guys are gonna be like, oh, he's being a doomsdayer. Oh, the media's blowing it up. I know. I already knew that. The media, why wouldn't they? The media blows everything up. The media overplays everything. I don't know. Maybe this is just a big old thing and we're cool. If so, I would rather be over prepared and ready to make moves than be underprepared, sitting there with my pants down, trying to grab my ass and hopefully I don't lose everything. Okay. And lastly, before we bring on our guest, I am just going to tell you, I've had some conversations in the last 7 days with business owners. I've had some conversations that I can't tell you exactly why. Other than I just have to say this. If you guys remember back in 2020, there was that beginning of March, right? Now, obviously, if you're in different parts of the world, maybe this hit differently. But at the beginning of March, there was this couple weeks period. I don't know if you guys remember it or not. I can't imagine how you wouldn't. There was this feeling in the air, right? I remember being at the grocery store and like, it looked like the apocalypse was coming. People were like looking at food storage. And I'm like, dude, where the hell have we found ourselves, right? And there was just this feeling in the air. Everyone is on edge, right? And I am telling you, in the last 7 days, I have had some conversations. I have had some phone calls. I have had some interesting experiences and encounters. And right now, this moment in time, as we speak, whatever today is, November 23rd, it is feeling very similar to the beginning of 2020 or the beginning of 2020. Now, everything went shitty for a couple months, right? Now we know the ending of that. And guess what? We got stymied out. Like every time I opened the mailbox, I was getting a new check. I'm like, oh, there's another $4,000. There's $2,000, whatever. We got stimulus checks for days. That ain't coming this time. Okay. So I'm just putting that out there. This is where my mind is at. This is what I'm thinking about. These are the things I'm spending a lot of time strategizing. I'm spending a lot of time going, okay, When are we going to make our move? When are we going to make it before the calendar year? We're going to make it after. That's why I'm on the phone with my accountant, right? And if you guys are not taking advantage of the opportunity that's right in front of us, it's going to be one of the biggest regrets of your life, because I think we're going to have some incredible deals that come up with real estate, that come up with businesses. And we have an opportunity right now with digital real estate to go and make as much money as you want. And guys, guess what? Guess what? When things go bad, people lose their jobs. And when people lose their jobs, they still need money. So guess what a lot of these people do? They go, hey, that's the last time I'm going to trust my livelihood. I'm going to trust my family's livelihood to somebody else. I'm going to go start a business. And the guy that used to work for the tree company that slowed down or whatever, and now he's out on the street, or used to work for the concrete company, or better yet, he worked for the development company or the contractor, and it slowed down. Instead of going to job, he's like, I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. I know how to run a track hoe. I know how to do excavation. Those people, guess what they need? They need leads, baby. And guess who's not going out of business? The companies, the good companies, the one that we should be working with anyway. So we're going to have an opportunity. We have a product with digital real estate, with leads, with rank and rent. We have a product that businesses have to have. Leads are the lifeblood of businesses, baby. We are not selling cosmetic surgery. We are not selling freaking, what's it called when you pump it into your face, whatever the hell it's called. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The lips, the face. I can't even remember what the hell it's called, but we're not selling that shit. We're selling necessity. You have to have leads to survive. And guess what? That's what we sell. We just happen to control the asset. We just happen to make money every month. We just happen to be able to scale it as big as we want. We just happen to be able to do it from Scottsdale, Arizona, while we're sipping on a freaking Fresca grapefruit citrus. Let me crack this and let's go. Guys, thanks for being here. Looks like we got some people in the house. Let's bring on our freaking guests. Let me see what we got here though. Oh yeah, Josh Meek, Botox. Boom. Botox, what I meant. Dale Skipper says, any Black Friday deals on your course? I think you know the answer to that. When everyone else is zigging, you know that I'm zagging. So instead of there being a discount, yeah, you do the math. Okay, you know how I roll. Okay, let's see what else we got. Diz, what's up? Josh says, yeah, rains ain't coming down anytime. Dude, you know what's funny, Josh, is everyone that's like a normal person, that's like a logical person goes, yeah, they're not coming down. There's no way. We have to go. Like, this is just getting warmed up. I was just barely on the phone with my accountant. He told me he was listening to an economist named Richard Duncan. He said he was one of the most brilliant guys he's ever listened to. He said, you got to check him out. And he said that his prediction, again, this is one guy, so I know everyone's got their own opinion. His prediction is that rates are going to keep going up for the next 4 quarters. Okay. Next 4 quarters. And I'll also tell you this, I've got friends that have title companies. I've got friends that have real estate companies, and their numbers are half of what they were 60 days ago. Half. Let me repeat that. Half. Okay. This is going to get freaking fun, yo. You guys ever played Monopoly? We're about to do that in real life. Don't be the person that's playing Monopoly that doesn't have any money. They draw the card and it's this badass deal and you can't pay for it. Okay. And the next guy scoops it up and all of a sudden they're freaking cash flowing and they're driving whatever car. They're using the money from the deal, the hotel deal, to freaking buy the Aventador. Don't be the person that misses the deal because you don't have cash, and don't be the person that doesn't have cash because you were too scared to take a risk. And then you come to find out that the riskiest thing you ever did was stay at the job, because who gives a shit? You're just another cog in the wheel, baby. Okay. So, appreciate you guys being on. JR, I know it's not the point of the video, but what is the address of said? Oh, what is the address of said $4 million property? That is an Arkansas deal. It's off market. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Half, more like 20%. Yeah, Dave Stevens, he knows what's up. He's like half would be generous. It's like 20%. Good to have you on, bro. Okay, guys, I'm going to bring somebody on. This is somebody that I happen to know fairly well. And I'm really pumped about this. And man, I don't even know if I want to give too much of an intro because I don't know the full story myself. So I kind of want to let you guys hear it. But what I want to say is the person that I'm about to bring on, a year ago, this person wasn't even in the money-making game. This person was living in Colorado, doing a volunteer missionary trip, and wasn't even thinking about where he was going to make his next dollar. Okay. So this is literally, well, it's a little bit over a year ago. So this isn't somebody that's like been in the game for a long time and they've been making like she's I think 20, 22, 21, 22, super young. Anyway, let me bring him on first and we're going to get into all of that. And my hope and my prayer is that all of you guys that are sitting there going, yeah, but yeah, this is great, but yeah, but I've got this career. Yeah. I'm going to smash that with this one. Okay. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring on our guest today, which is, his name is Porter, happens to also be my little brother, Porter Wood. Let me go ahead and add you in, bud. Hang tight. Let me get a sip here. All right. Porter's hopping on. I'm getting a little sip of the old grapefruit Fresca. There he is. What's up, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You might want to just mute, or not mute, but if you're on Facebook, just, yeah, cool. What's up, dog?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Tell everyone where you're sitting right now, bud.
Hey, so I'm on the balcony of the old Scottsdale Lynx resort right now.
Porter is actually in the same suite as myself, but I told him he had to get his ass outside because I didn't want to hear him echoing. So we're actually in the same suite. We're down here in Scottsdale enjoying the sun, hit the pool today, hit the old foosball, hit the old ping pong, hit the old pool, hit the old hot tub. You know what I'm saying? People watching. So dude, tell the, how, by the way, I don't even, are you 22?
Yeah, 22.
22. So Porter has been in, so tell these guys like what you're actually doing as like with a career, what your long-term game is there outside of this, because the whole point of what I want to share is like everybody thinks that if you don't do this full time, or if you're not me, or if you know, whatever your situation, if you're not like this, like image of what everyone else thinks it should be, that you can't do this. So tell everyone like what you're actually like, what your long-term plan is and what you're building for a career and like outside of this.
Okay. So for a lot of you, the picture that Nick posted earlier, it was of a tractor, a steamer, and a baler, right? So I mean, what I want to do is I want to farm. So we all grew up on the farm. Us three Wood boys, we all grew up on a farm. And obviously Nick picked a different path, and Zach picked a different path, and I was the kind of the one that wanted to stick around. So farming is what I want to do long term. I've always just loved it. There's just something about, I just like being outside. I like hunting, almost the opposite of what Nick loves. I like something a little bit different too, but I love this, right? So I want to farm. I want to take that upwards. I want to make it bigger and better than what my dad had it and what my grandpa had it. So that's the goal, is just I want to farm and make a lot of money that way, but I know there's a better way too.
Yeah. So he's going to be taking over the farm. So he actually works with my dad full time. They're literally everything that you would think of with a farm. I mean, all of it, right? Like moving pipes, cutting hay, sitting on the tractor, doing like, and then there's stuff that you don't even know that really sucks, like cleaning out the shed and organizing the tools and greasing the machinery and cleaning the machinery, especially when you have allergies and you're allergic to it. So he's like literally and you don't hear about this. Why I think this is a cool story, because I don't know how many people you know at all that like farm for a living, but actually like do it. But also I bet you none of you know somebody that's 22 and they're like, yeah, I want to farm, right? But here's what's so dope about it is farming is a dope thing because he works like all the time from when does it get busy? Like March?
Yeah, like we get into it in March.
Yeah, so I mean, he could stay busy all year, cleaning stuff up, buying, getting their fertilizer ready, getting all these things, doing meetings. But there's a time where it gets a little bit slower, right? Because it snows. And obviously he's not cutting hay and harvesting hay when it snows. So he's thought he's going, okay, well, there's this opportunity. And he got back from his missionary trip and he's like, dude, what are you doing? And I was kind of doing this before, but I was doing more of the SEO, that kind of a thing. And so I was like, yeah, dude, it's called digital real estate. It's essentially selling drugs, bro. It's like, have you ever heard of Pablo Escobar and El Chapo? This is what they do, right? You the margins are like 90%. No, but seriously. So, he literally just a couple months ago, he's like, dude, I want to start doing it. As soon as things slow down a little bit with farming, I'm going to start like learning how to do this. So how much sales experience do you have?
Zero. I literally have zero sales experience.
Zero. Like he like I went and did door to door. My other little brother, I convinced him to do it for a year. Porter, who we're talking to here, has zero sales experience. None. Okay. Now here's some better questions, bro. How many books? This is what I got to get to. How many books have you read in the last 22 years? Like, no, like I'm giving you a hard time, but like, dude, how much? Well, first of all, how much college have you been to?
Zero. And I remember calling you. I remember last year I called Nick and I was like, I enrolled in college and I was nervous. I was like, dude, should I do college? And I called Nick and he was like, heck no. And you're like, yeah, you can do way other things. And so I didn't even go to college. I lasted almost one day.
He didn't go to college. So, and guys, I'm not here to shit on college. What I'm saying is like this, we're not talking to somebody that has 20 years of sales experience. We're not talking to somebody who is like a financial genius that like does stock manipulation and writes algorithms. Porter, in the same way that I am, we are average people that are like, okay, we went to guys, and Dave Stevens, I hope you're still on because you went to the same high school. And I know there might be a couple other people that went to the high school that we did. It's like, dude, I can't believe that they haven't even reported this high school to the state. Yo, we got teachers that are like sneaking out during class in the greenhouse, smoking freaking blunts, dog. Like, don't even have their degree. It's bananas, right? I don't know how, like, dude, when I went to college and they're like, hey, here's math 10-10. I was like, we didn't learn this stuff. Like, I don't know any of this. Like, I was so far behind. So the point is, we're average people. Porter's farming. I started getting into sales and he's still going to be able to do that. Just because he's doing digital real estate, he can still do it. But here's what's crazy. If this was drop shipping, if this was something else, right? As soon as because here's what's cool about Porter's situation, as soon as things start to pick up in February, March, and April, he's going to have his clients in another contract. He's going to be able to, pull back a little bit, and he's going to be able to maintain these deals, and he's going to be able to make that extra, right? Like, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. And guess what that allows him to do? That allows him to not be anxious and be like, hey, dad, when are you going to start paying me more? Or, having all these conflicts of like, hey, I want to make more money. He can do what he loves to do, which is be outside, be on the tractor, like literally living, like go listen to a Jason Aldean song. That's what he does every day. And he loves it. And it's dope. And that's what he gets to do. And him and his wife that he just got married, like they get to just like live the little house on the prairie life. And it's super dope. But he gets to do it by choice, right? And he's not going to have to rely. In fact, he probably won't even have to rely on any of that income. And if he wants, he could put it right back into the farm, or he could, whatever. He's going to have options. So I just wanted to point the fact out, like, no matter what situation you're in, if you want to farm, cool, and do this. If you're a teacher, cool, and do this. If you're a cop, hopefully Zach's listening. You can be a cop and on your freaking, what do they work 1 day and have 6 off, right? No, I'm kidding. He works 3 and has 3 off or whatever. You can do both, right? You can literally do both. So let's get into the deal, dude. This is a really cool story. So Porter has a hilarious story about this deal that he got. Why don't you tell them just a little bit about like the actual close? So first of all, tell them about the deal. How much was it? What niche? You don't need to tell them the city, but what was the niche? How much was it? How many leads? Just give us a little synopsis of the deal.
Okay. So it was $375 a week. So $1,500 a month. I sent him like four jobs, and these jobs, the reason I sent him 4, I probably could have closed them on earlier, but The reason I sent him another one, I was only going to send him like 2 or 3, was because some of them were a little bit older. So I just wanted to make sure that I solidified this deal, because I was
Older
like, I got.
leads? What do you mean by older?
So I just, they were sitting there for like a couple, like I had to dig them up to go at. So the clients were they were kind of anxious. So they were just a little older leads.
Okay.
So I sent them like 5, but yeah, it was like $1,500. And what's funny is when I called this business owner, I did my whole list. I had 10 guys. I called through all 10 of them, and not one of them was interested. And I was kind of anxious, because I was like, oh my gosh, these calls are coming in. I'm spending money on these ads, and I'm nervous, because I'm like, I don't have money just growing coming out of my pockets. Like, I need to be able to put it somewhere. So I was kind of nervous. So one day I just was like, I'm just going to call through the people that didn't answer, or maybe that were kind of iffy. So I called the number 1 guy again. His name was Nestor, and hooked this guy. And I hooked him twice. The first time he agreed, and then the second time around, like before that, he ghosted me. So I recalled him, and then I sent him a few jobs, and then I got him on a Zoom call.
So the guy that you ended up selling was somebody that you had talked to the first time, and he was like, yeah. But then he ghosted you.
Yeah, and he's kind of an old school guy. I think he low-key thought it was a scam, because it sounded like, it sounds so good. Like when I first heard it, I was like, there's no way.
I don't think he low-key. I think he high-key
Oh,
thought it was a scam. You know what I'm saying? Oh, high-key. What's it? I can't wait. I think we should start using high-key as like some dope phrase. Anyway, like, dude, there's a lesson right there, and that is like, guys, how many times have you gone through your list of people, and because they said no, you never went back, and you're like, well, that area is burned. You know how many times I've gotten a message from somebody that's like, oh, I called all the business owners on my list, they said no. Ask them again. You know what's funny is when I did door-to-door sales, we would put new reps, their first-year reps. We'd say, hey, go knock this neighborhood. And literally 2 days later, hey, bro, can you get me a new area? I'm like, no, I just gave it to you 2 days. Oh, I knocked all the doors. I'm like, okay, let's go through it. He's like, they said no. I'm like, bro, you don't, like, what do you mean? They said, like, they would just blow through neighborhoods. So guess what we would do? I would say, okay, cool. I'm going to give you a new area this time. Here's what you need to tweak, whatever. And I would just go knock the same neighborhood right behind them. And you have no idea how many times I would sell the deal, right? So the point is, guys, just because somebody said no the first time, if you call a month later, you might get a completely different response. You call 6 months later, you might get a completely different response. You have no idea how many times I've literally done deals in this business model. I have a client right now, his name's Jason. I called him in 2018 and I pitched him, and he said, hey bro, let's do it. And I sent him leads, right? And he said, okay, let's do it. And then guess what? At the very end, he said, bro, I can't do this. I'm going through a divorce, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And we separated ways. Guess what? 9 months later, as I went back, I'm like, dude, I got to find somebody for that site, right? Guess what I did? I called Jason, and guess what? Divorce finalized. He didn't need to hide money anymore. You know how people get all weird and they don't want to make any money, so give it to their partner. And he's like, let's do the deal. We did $1,000 a month deal, and we've been working together ever since, right? It's been 3-4 years. Just because somebody says no once does not freaking mean that it's a no forever. So anyway, it's just like a side tangent. So you called Nestor, you sent him a couple older leads, you sent him a couple fresh leads. Tell him about, and it's how much you say, $1,200 or 15? $1,500. Guys, this is what I was talking to Porter. Guess how much his ads, his cost per click. What was your cost per click on this deal?
It was like $3.50. That was like my average on them.
He's like $3.50. He's going to net, for those of you that are new, that are like, hey, this digital real estate, he's got a $1,500. That's how much the business owner's paying him. He's going to be spending $20 a day, but if he wants to, which is $600 a month. But guess what? Because his cost per click is so low, he's probably only going to have to spend $15 a day, and he's probably going to net over $1,000 from day one. If he never ranks the website, if he never does a Google My Business, he's going to net $1,000 per month. He gave himself a $12,000 raise by getting this one deal. Okay. So you send him 4 leads, and then tell him what happened, because you tried to run the deal and then he wasn't available, and like tell him the story of closing. It's hilarious.
So I was watching Nick's videos like crazy, and just really trying to utilize everything. Like he was telling me about the whole the pie analogy where like you can have all the ingredients, and the more ingredients that you can have in the deal, like you're more chance of you close it. So I was like studying this thing like a hawk. So I had like notes written down every day. I text him a certain thing, like kind of giving a little pullback and letting him know I had other options. So I was doing that. And I remember I was trying to get him as a desktop, and so, or just a computer, and I wanted him to be able to do it in the morning. And so
He's talking, by the way, he's talking about the Zoom close. He's trying to do everything by the book, and this is what happens.
Yeah, so everything by the book. So I call him one day and I'm like, hey Nestor, like can you make sure you're on a desktop, and can you make sure that it's in the, can we try to do it in the morning before work? Can you be at like a desk? Because I wanted him to mean like, I want it to mean business, right? So I tell him all these things. So first of all, he doesn't own a laptop. He has a phone. He doesn't have a desk. And he lives in Florida, and I got to wake up at 4:30 if I want to beat him before work. Or no, I had to wake up at like 2 because I was so nervous because I couldn't sleep the night before because I wanted this deal so bad. And so I had to get him. My Zoom call was at 4:30. I woke up at like 2, was like studying everything until then, and then hopped on the Zoom close at 4:30. So it was crazy.
So this is the only time he could do it was before work.
Well, so you mentioned that you should do it before work or usually later in the evening. And every time that I tried to talk to him at night, he was just smoked. Because it was concrete. I was doing a concrete guy. So he was smoked at night. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it in the morning just to make sure. So I just chose in the morning instead.
Got it. So you ran the call at 4 a.m. and he ends up getting the deal for $1,500. But guys, the reason I wanted to tell you that story is because how many of you would be willing to wake up at, he probably didn't need to wake up at 2 a.m. But the best part is he woke up at 2 a.m. He didn't tell you that he started drinking pre-workout to get ready for the day at 2 a.m. But how many of you, like, ask yourself this rhetorically, how many of you would be willing to wake up at 4 a.m. to get a deal? Or how many of you would go, well, I'll just do it on Monday, and you lose the deal? How many of you would be willing to wake up at 4 a.m.? I know some of you would. I know Kyle. By the way, Kyle, shout out to Kyle. He just got his first deal literally this morning. And I was giving him a hard time. I said, hey, dude, you got my little brother's like beating you, bro. Like, you got to pick it up. He just giving him a hard time, but he got his first deal. So we'll have him back on. We'll talk about it. But I know Kyle's gotten up. He did a call one time at 4 a.m. How many of you are willing to wake up at 4 a.m. to do a sales call? Because that's when the business owner can meet. Like, if you're not, then that's fine, but just don't complain when you don't have money. Okay. So anyway, dude, I love the hustle, bro. You got to do it sometimes. And then you know what? The rest of the day, you're just buzzing. You're just like, oh, sick, dude, just got the deal, got it in the bag, all that, right?
Oh, I couldn't sleep. I had to go to the gym. I was so jacked about it.
I love it, dude. And by the way, this is what's so sick. That was his very first close of his life. He's never done sales, right? So this is like not only his first close in this is your first close of as far as an actual selling. Is this your first time ever selling something?
Yeah.
First time saying to somebody, here's what I'm going to give you in exchange. You give me your credit card. Here's the contract. That's your very first time doing that, right?
Oh yeah. Dropping that price was nerve wracking. I was shaking.
Dude, when you're not making, when you're not making $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month, and you're asking somebody for $1,500 a month, it is scary because you're like, dude, to me, that's a lot of money, right? So I get it. Like what if they object to price? Like, and they say it's a lot. I know, of course it is. That's the point, right?
Oh yeah.
So dude, I love it. And then this is the last point I want to mention really quick before we jump to Q&A, and then I can let you be done, Porks. You're probably freezing. But here's what I thought was so cool is he got the deal. And we have this family, like every other year we come down to Scottsdale and we hang out at this resort. And he texts me on, I think it was Monday night. And he said, dude, I got to get another deal, whatever. And he put up his next one pager, found his next city. And he's like, dude, I put it up earlier. I think it was earlier, either that day or the day before. And he's like, I'm already getting leads. And you didn't expect that, right? They came in really quickly. Right?
No, I had no idea. I was like, that's going to be a couple weeks.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm guessing in your head, you were like, well, I'll put it up today and then I'll be gone for the week. And so maybe by the time I get home, it'll be coming in. Right. Well, guess what? Sometimes it just hits, right? So he's getting leads and so he has one of two choices to make. he can just like turn it off and go, oh, I'll get to it next week. Or he can freaking go smash in the phone. So I actually don't know the answer to this. You got somebody on the hook. By the time we talked on Tuesday, you've had somebody on the hook, right? How did that work?
So we were leaving for Scottsdale. So there was two people that I kind of got on the hook. The first guy was not as solid.
So
but
when did you get? I just want to know, like, first of all, when was this before you left?
on the way, like at a gas station.
That's what I thought, bro. That's what I was
drove-
hoping you were gonna say. So picture this: he's driving to Scottsdale because these guys are out of their minds and decided to drive instead of fly. But for some reason, they drove. They're driving to Scottsdale. His wife's was she driving? I hope.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, no one called the authorities. She's driving. His wife's driving. They're freaking got all their stuff in the car, and he's calling his list on the way to Scottsdale. Which, by the way, there's like no service. How many of you? I'm going to ask you first of all. How many of you would be willing to wake up at 4 a.m.? Probably not a lot of you. How many of you, if you had leads coming in, would be willing to just jump on and start cold calling a list with your wife sitting in the passenger seat and knowing that you're probably going to look dumb, you're probably going to get hung up on, you're probably going to run into some bad service spots, but you're just freaking taking action. And you hook somebody on the way to Scottsdale in the car.
Yeah, literally.
So check this out. That guy, he kind of starts being a whatever, a wiener. He's not answering the phone. That was yesterday. So today, I'm at the pool and I'll look over and freaking Porter is over there cold calling people trying to get another business owner. Literally today at the pool. And did you hook somebody when you were outside here? Where'd you get him?
Yeah, I got another guy. I had two sites going, so I got hooked 2 guys today. So I'm ready to start sending them jobs.
So Porter's on vacation. We're at a resort. We did go to the gym, got that little swole on, right? And he's over there. Personally, I'm at the pool. I'm playing ping pong. And today he's just making phone calls. We're playing ping pong. He's making phone calls. He got showered and we come over for breakfast. He's making phone calls. It's loud out in here because the kids are screaming. He's out on the balcony. He's making phone calls. Okay. I've been saying this, and this has been my formula for success. Imperfect action is the key to this, guys. Take imperfect action. He doesn't know the answers. He doesn't know if every city is going to be perfect. He doesn't know if the business owner is going to be a major, massive dick. He doesn't know if he's going to say everything right. He doesn't know if one of our nieces or nephews is going to come and freaking punch him in the nuts on their way down the stairs and take the air out of him while he's on he doesn't know, but he's taking action. And as a result, he's got his first deal. And you have 2 sites going right now and you have 2 hooked, right?
Yeah, I got 2 people ready, and I got 2 jobs that I'm ready to send over to one of them. So
amazing. So guys, here's what's crazy is there's probably a lot of you watching right now that are a lot smarter than me. You're a lot smarter than Porter on an intellectual level, but hustle and doing imperfect action is what wins this game. And you watch where he ends up by the time farming starts getting hot and heavy in March. He's going to have a lot of deals under his belt. And some of you guys, it's the sad truth, you're still going to be trying to pick your first area. You're still going to be, I don't know if I should call. It's Thanksgiving week and I don't want to bug anybody. And they're probably with their family. And they're going to be making turkey and there's a rotisserie thing. And come on, guys. Come on. How much longer are you going to do that? How many more excuses, dude? Shit,
that's the hard thing about me. I was just nervous about getting going because first of all, I don't have a lot of money. Like I literally have been making money for like 2 years or something like that. So that's my thing is like until when I started going was when I was like, dude, I can accomplish so much if I just put my head down and go to work. Because that was the biggest thing is just start.
Yeah, he came back. He last June or July, he got back from Colorado with basically nothing to his name. He's starting from scratch. Like he went from high school to Colorado on a missionary trip. He has nothing. He's gotten married. So he had to get a ring. He had to sign an apartment. Now he's got 2 mouths to feed. Like his wife's going to school doing like cosmetology and hair. So like, it's not like he's just flush with cash, but guess what? He's freaking hustling and he's doing deals. And some of you guys have all the time in the world. Some of you guys have cash. Some of you guys have other things and you're not doing it. So I wanted him to come on to be like, look, he doesn't know all the answers. He's known about rank and rent for a couple months. Like, I know you knew what I did, but like you didn't know what I did. Like
No,
you just thought I did stuff on the internet and probably was like doing some cocaine deals or whatever, right?
I had no idea.
Yeah, he had no idea until he started asking me questions. He didn't know what rank and rent was. Some of you guys have known about rank and rent for 5 times longer than Porter, and he's making $1,000 more than you. right? Net, because he's taken action. So the question really comes down to like, what else what's it got to take, guys? How many more freaking recessions we got to go through? How many more freaking like people, friends of yours that get fired from their jobs that were so secure is it going to take for you to get off your ass, pick up your phone and make phone calls? And you're not even on vacation. He's doing it on vacation. Some of you guys are sitting at home and you're not doing it because you're making excuses and you're shuffling papers and you're fixing your pens and you're going to do this and you're going to get your logo and you're going to get your business cards. You're going to push it off and push it off. And all you got to do is pick up the phone and do the one thing that freaking makes money. And shout out to Jordan Belfort, pick up the phone and start dialing. Okay. That's the game. All right. What questions you guys have for Porter? Let's pepper in real quick. If you guys have any, let's do that before he freezes. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Okay. By the way, guys, if you have any questions you want to ask Porter, any question you want to ask me, any question you want to ask in general, ask them as soon as possible. If nothing comes in, I'm ending this bad boy, but I'm happy to stay on for just a moment and go through. Kyle's giving you a little shout out, dude. Kyle, bud, I think actually Kyle Porter's still beating you because his deal was a little bit more. So just saying, bud. I think you got 10 years on him and he's hustling, bro. He's hustling. Okay. Josh says, me and you both, Porter, right on, brother. I'm not sure what that was too, but I love it. I think he was talking to the, I'm 21 and want one. What were we talking about, bro? He says he's 21 and wants one. Maybe a wife. I don't know. Rurik, what's up, dog? Craig says, what niche? I think that got answered. Concrete. Go figure, right? Don't overthink it. Porter, how do you qualify business owners?
How do I qualify? Like, how do I hook them?
How do you know? Like, yeah, but he's asking like, how do you know what's a good business owner? Because now you've gone through quite a few business owners. What's the guy's name? Rojas. What was the first guy's name?
Nestor, is the guy close?
What was different between Nestor and some of these other guys that have fizzled out? Like any tips you can give on people, like how you can tell if someone's a good business owner?
Well, initially when I called, it was kind of my fault. I don't think I was being as bold as I should have. And I wasn't asking them like, are you wanting to grow your business and whatnot? Just because that's a huge question. If they're fine where they're at, then they're not a good fit. So I just was kind of willing to ask those kind of awkward questions and asking them how big their crew is. And a lot of times you don't want to ask those questions because they could be like, this is weird. Why are you asking all these deep questions? But I think that is important. And also like, go for those guys that have the crappy names. Like there was one guy this guy was just Nestor's Concrete, but there was other guys that I called and I think a guy today, it was something weird. It was like Cola Concrete or something like that, or it was Low Cost Concrete. Like these names are like they're never going to be able to rank a site anyways, and because of their name and their website that they had, it was awful. So I was just going after those people that I feel like.
What was Nestor already paying for advertising or not?
Yeah, he was paying for Home Advisor, turning them off and on.
Yeah, just trying to play that game of like, yeah, I get it. So yeah. I think the most important thing is the questions, dude. You got to start asking the questions. They're going to be awkward. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Stop them and say, hey, I don't want to be rude, Nestor, but do you really want these leads? Because if you don't, then I'm not going to send them to you and I'll go to somebody else. But like, I'm not going to lose sleep, bro. Like, are you interested? Be okay if they say no.
And I think the first time I was pushing, I was overselling it so hard because I was like wanting to hook somebody, but just barely. When I hooked somebody, I literally was on the balcony walking around and I felt like that was the best hook I've ever set because I didn't care. I was like, if you don't answer, I'll call somebody else. 100%. And it was like, I was relaxed. I didn't oversell it.
And he's literally, guys, some of you guys have to pump yourself up and you're like, oh, I got to have this perfectly quiet space. Literally, I walked by his place. He's doing cold calls on the balcony. Okay. You guys just pick up the phone. Okay. Just pick it up. Okay. Aaron Vogel says, Porter, respect, man. What's your monthly goal before March of next year?
March of next year. I want to hit 10 grand. I literally, I don't think that's like my minimum. I got to be able to.
Small goal, bro. You're going to hit that. But no, I love that. You hit 10K and then you're making, I mean, net, you're going to make 6, even if your sites aren't ranking, add an extra 6 grand to your income, dude. I mean, you're going to be in an awesome spot, dude. Okay. Josh Contreras clarified my question. He said he was talking about farming. He wants to farm. He says, I'm 21 and want to farm as well. That's what he meant. So awesome. Okay. Albert says, Nick, did you start? Oh, no, not Nick. He said, I think I love hearing my name so much. I just insert it wherever. Hey, did you start right off? So did you start tight off the bat using VAs, or are you in the trenches doing it all since you're still just starting off? I think you're just doing it all, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm doing everything.
He's doing everything, guys. He's doing the website build. He's doing the hooks. He's passing the leads over, and sometimes he's in the hot tub and playing ping pong at the same time. Okay.
Right.
You don't have to do it perfect. For your first couple deals, just go smack the deal. Just go get money coming in until you have, I've said this and I love this saying, if you do not have money coming in, you have a hobby, not a business. Okay. Porter now has a business. Porter now has money. Now, dude, he called me and he's like, bro, I got a closing call. I don't even know how to set up Stripe. That's the kind of stuff. Those are the kind of problems that you want to have. You're taking action so that you're not sitting there. Some of you guys would be pushing off. I guarantee some of you guys listening right now, you would have pushed off that call because you're like, well, it's kind of early and I don't even have my Stripe account set up. That's not even a stretch. I guarantee there's people on this call that would have pushed it off because of that. Okay. Who cares? Just grab the credit card. And I was going to tell Porter if he wouldn't have got, I was like, well, you can run it through my system if you need to. Like that's not the problem. The problem is you need to go get more deals, right?
Yeah,
okay.
That's exactly.
Anything you want to say in ending to somebody that's, young, 20s, maybe recently married or not, or just starting their life out, starting their career out, and they want to add this to they want to have another income stream, because now you got your income from farming. Now you got your income from digital real estate. And if you're smart with both of those, you can also have a third stream of physical real estate. And now you can have 3 income streams instead of just one. And you have 2, and it's dope is you'll have 2 of those income streams are not attached to your time. And the one that is the thing that you love. So it's a win-win anyway.
Yeah. I would just say, just do it. I mean, just start today and then just set a goal. I think that was when I saw the most success. I literally found the city in one day. The same day I built the list, did my due diligence, set up ads by that night. And I was amazed because I was dragging all those 4 things like throughout a month period. I was like, oh, maybe today I'll start my list. And so I would just say, just start, because if you start today and tomorrow, you're going to be so much further ahead if you were to wait. So I would just say, just get started.
Yep. And it's funny, dude. I know you kind of hesitated at the beginning. You're like, should I use this niche? Should I do this? What do you think about this? And I'm like, bro, it looks good. Just go. Just do it.
Yeah.
And then you haven't really asked me anything from that. And lo and behold, now you have 1 deal under your belt, 2 deals hooked. You're going to send it. You'll have a lead to give both those people already?
Yes. I got 1 for each of them ready to send over.
So he'll be doing 2 pitches by next Monday. So guys, we're going to have, as soon as you hit 10K, we're going to have you back on.
Sounds good.
Maybe we'll do it from the tractor.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do it.
Okay. Last question. Josh says, what tricks or advice do you have to get over the fear of losing money with Google Ads? He said tricks for mentality. Like, and I want to answer this as well, but yeah, what do you think? Because I know for you spent, a couple $100, and I know when you're at, let's say $200 and you've spent ads and because by the way, just so everybody knows, this is his first Zoom close. He had a couple people that he talked to, and then they never ghosted him and whatever. So he had some money starting to stack up, and he spent a couple $100, but he made it back immediately. Yeah. But anything that you had to tell yourself of like, oh my gosh, I don't have I'm not just swimming in money, but I'm spending it. Like, what were you telling yourself?
Well, I would just say, keep your ads going. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like like you said, Nick, I had a business owner on the hook. I was ready to do the Zoom call. I dropped the price too early, lost the sucker. So I messed up, and I knew it, but I had spent $300 or $400 already, and I was so close. I just messed up. And so I paused my ads, and I was like, I need to take a break. Like $400 was a lot to me, because I was like, I'm not making a ton. I need to be able to be smart with it. Instead of just keep going and got the next business owner, I lost $1,000 on that one guy, because I kept turning them off and on, rather than just keeping them on. Find that business owner within 2 weeks. I don't care if you spent $600, because in 2 weeks I'll make up that money anyways. Yep. And then within a month I've doubled it. Like, you're making way more. You got to spend money to make money. If you don't do that, you're never going to go anywhere.
Well, and dude, you just on this deal specifically, you made so much on the net. You took care of all the ads on this one, all the ads on the last one, and probably the ads on the next one. Month 2, you're all great. Like the numbers at such good juicy margins that like that's number one. Number 2 is if you want to just go charge the business owner for the ads. Like you have to realize that, guys. Like if money is an issue, cool. Just build it, just bake it into your cost, bake it into your pitch. Hey, I have a startup fee. It's $2.99. Cool. What's that for? It's a startup fee, Nestor. Don't ask, bro. If he wants to ask, say yes to set up the website and for my services.
Yeah.
Nestor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So guys, quit being worried about it. Money is a renewable resource. You know what you should be scared about? You should be scared to lose your time. You should be scared to miss an opportunity like we have for the next 24, 48 months to go get freaking recession rich. That's what you should be terrified of. Money is going to grow back. There's opportunities to make money. You can make money a lot of ways. You can make money freaking doing everything from OnlyFans to Findom if you really want to get crazy. But there's a much better way, and those things are still trading time for dollars. Kind of. Actually, one of them isn't, but it's getting a little shady. Anyway, dude, thanks for being on, bro. Everybody, I appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. Guys, we're gonna be doing deals. We're gonna be freaking why do you like I'm not taking this day off. Our families are out getting dinner and all that stuff. We're doing this call. We're putting in the reps. We're doing it because you know what? We want that freedom. We want to be able to have that financial freedom. We want to be able to travel where we want to travel, drive what we want to drive, eat what we want to eat, dress how we want to dress, doing it the way we want to do it, how we want to do it, saying what we want to say. And that's what it takes. So it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes you're going to be doing cold calls while your nephew's screaming. You're going to be out on the balcony doing cold calls. But if you take action, you're going to make money. Okay. That's it. Thanks, Porter.
Hey, thank you.
See you.